All right, then, let's have a look at what's going on today. This will be a zoomed out perspective to give us some broader context into what exactly is going on. And I thought I'd start here with the Wall Street cheat sheet. You've probably seen this before. I've mentioned it a few times in the last couple of years. You can see where we are right now. What do you think? Well, for most people, certainly if you're in altcoins, I think we are down in this depression zone here. What does it say? My retirement money is lost. How can we pay for all this new stuff? I'm an idiot. Does that sound familiar? Well, that's probably because we're right down here at the very bottom of the market cycle. Well, this is the psychological approach anyway, but let's have a look at something a bit more technical. If we go to this website, lookintoBitcoin.com, there's this chart, which is the MVRV, which is the market cap versus the realized value. That's the difference between basically the price of Bitcoin at the time against the price of the Bitcoin when it was last moved between wallets. That's how it's calculated. You can see in the past it's dipped below this price in the depths of the bear market here in 2012, here in 2015, here again like 2018, 19, and back in 2022 here as well. Now, is it going to do this again? Well, this value is used to calculate this orange line here. It basically shows how overheated the market is, if you like. And although we've dipped below actual value in the past in these bear market times, we may not necessarily go back into this zone here in this cycle. If you look previously, earlier in this cycle here, we did not get any of the massive extensions that we got in previous cycles. So if this was made more subdued, maybe this could be a little more subdued too. And if a lot of people are waiting for it to come down into this zone, well, it's probably not going to go there. Yeah, the crowd is always wrong, right? Here's another one, the Bitcoin Pi Cycle Top Indicator. Now all this is, you've got a 111-day MA and a 350-day MA. And basically when the 111 breaks above the 350, you're at the top of the cycle. It actually went off twice in this cycle here in 2013, 2014. God, that was a good one in 2018 and 2021 as well. But we will see in this last cycle that we've been through, this has not fired at all. All right, this is an interesting chart. This is off the blog at ueex.com / Bitcoin halvening chart. And it shows you the price of Bitcoin with these columns here showing you the 12 months prior to and following Bitcoin halvenings in previous market cycles. Okay, this just goes up to the start of last year. It's kind of out of date, but it does illustrate a point, and that is we are currently just over 600 days away from the next halvening. And so a year to the halvening is still a way away. But look what happens if you go back like 18 months, 24 to 18 months before the halvening, this period, we are now in this kind of value zone here. Is it going to play out the same? No one knows. But basically, if you look at this period of the cycle, in previous market cycles, this would have definitely been prime time to be accumulating, to be dollar cost averaging. All right, then now have a look at this. We got Bitcoin here, the green and red, against Ethereum. This is over the last 7 years. You can see Ethereum, when it goes up, it really goes up, right? But overall, the past 7 years, in fact, you'd be up about a 10x on both if you'd have just bought and held for all that time. Obviously, Ethereum's got the advantage of DeFi and stuff like that, so you can earn yield off it on top of that too. What about other altcoins? Well, you can see here I've cherry picked a couple. Solana, CRO, Algorand from different chains there. Overall, not quite as good, but you see Ethereum and Bitcoin doing really well there. However, there is a little cheeky chappy we can look at. Check this out. Now, this is Hex. And yeah, this is real. This is how much Hex went up, right, in 2020 into 2021. Absolutely mogged everything else in crypto. Unfortunately, since that period, you can see it's basically been flatlining, and we essentially missed the last market cycle due to various things. Now, have things missed the market cycle before and then carried on? Have they come back from the dead, as it were? Well, yeah. Now, back in 2017, 2018, there's a little token called XRP. And you'll see compared to Bitcoin, it absolutely skyrocketed, kind of reminiscent of what Hex did in 2021. And then in the following cycle, well, it basically failed to impress, but there were people with big bags and lots of money to throw around that made it outperform its previous highs in the cycle after that. Now, are there any such people who might be able to manipulate the price of Hex? Well, I wouldn't know. But yeah, it just shows that things can come back after years and years of disappointment. Although maybe XRP is a unicorn. I don't know. Here we've got XRP in yellow, Hex in red, and Bitcoin with the Heikin Ashi candles there. You can see that if you'd have bought 2 years ago, roughly, you'd have been about break even for Bitcoin. You'll be up 64% for Hex, and actually up 92.7 for XRP. So the altcoins here outperforming Bitcoin, but it's all a question of time frame. And when you look at these things, I mean, yeah, it does give you a perspective. In fact, for example, if we come back to, say, 6 months ago, what would we have got? If you'd have bought, say, in February, back here, yeah, you'd be down 41 with XRP. You'd be up, down 28 with Bitcoin, but up 127% with Hex. So yeah, this is the whole thing. Time in the market versus timing, time frames. These are all very important things to consider. So, as our friend from the Beverly Hillbillies once said, history doesn't repeat itself, but it often rhymes. And that's exactly why for the next year, I'm going to be happy to be accumulating more tokens, and I'm going to be looking at altcoins as opposed to Bitcoin because I'm looking for percentage gains over the next couple of years. I am further down the risk curve than many people, but I do believe it's going to be worth it. What are you doing? Let me know. Cheers.